Introduction. Well-being and mental health have long been a concern in the veterinary profession. The research team, led by Volk and his colleagues, aim to determine the status of well-being and mental health among veterinarians using academically validated instruments. This study is the fourth in a series sponsored by Merck Animal Health, and it builds on the knowledge gathered from previous biennial surveys. Burnout was added as a key metric in the 2019 study, and this latest research focuses on identifying individual behaviors and management techniques associated with higher levels of well-being and lower levels of burnout and psychological distress. Objective. The objective of this study was to assess levels of burnout, well-being, and mental health of veterinarians and compare them to those of non-veterinarians using validated instruments. The study also aimed to identify the predictive values of techniques that individuals can use to help reduce burnout and improve well-being and mental health. Sample and methods. The study utilized an online survey of 4,636 veterinarians from a random sample of 40,000 U.S. veterinarians provided by the AVMA. The survey was conducted from September 11 to October 9, 2023. The research protocol was reviewed and received a letter of exemption from the Advera Institutional Review Board. Respondents were asked to complete several instruments for measuring mental health, well-being, and burnout. Kessler Psychological Distress Scale, Kessler 6, assessed mental health by determining the presence of serious psychological distress. Well-being Index, evaluated happiness or satisfaction with life. Burnout Assessment Tool BAT provided granular insights into burnout, measuring components like cognitive impairment, emotional impairment, exhaustion, and mental distance. Big 5 Personality Assessment, assessed neuroticism, extroversion, agreeableness, openness, and conscientiousness. Results. Burnout and well-being. The results indicated that 82% of veterinarians had low to medium burnout, consistent with 84% of adults in the U.S. general population. However, 18% experienced high or very high burnout. Veterinarians scored significantly higher on exhaustion compared to cognitive or emotional impairment and mental distance. Younger veterinarians and those working with companion animals reported higher burnout levels. High neuroticism was a key predictor of high burnout, while good work-life balance, pride in work, and feeling that work contributes to others' lives were predictors of lower burnout. Well-being, approximately 54% of veterinarians were flourishing, 36% were getting by, and 10% were suffering. The mean score for well-being among veterinarians was 7, consistent with the U.S. adult population. Older veterinarians, men, and married veterinarians reported higher levels of well-being. High neuroticism and younger age were predictors of low well-being, whereas work-life balance, positive coping strategies, and job satisfaction were predictors of high well-being. Mental health. About 10% of veterinarians suffered from serious psychological distress, compared to 6.3% of employed, college-educated U.S. adults. Serious psychological distress was more common among younger veterinarians and those working with companion animals and equines. High neuroticism was the predominant predictor of serious psychological distress, while good work-life balance, job satisfaction, and effective coping mechanisms were predictors of lower distress. Work-life balance and coping mechanisms. The study highlighted the critical importance of work-life balance in reducing burnout, improving well-being, and maintaining good mental health. Respondents who frequently socialized with friends, spent time with family, exercised, and slept well reported lower burnout and higher well-being. Effective coping mechanisms, such as problem-solving and emotional acceptance, were also associated with better mental health. Clinic culture. A positive clinic culture was associated with higher well-being and lower burnout. Attributes of a positive culture included a strong sense of belonging to a team, high trust in the organization, open communication, and sufficient time for quality patient care. However, less than half of the respondents felt these attributes describe their practice to a great extent. Job satisfaction. The majority of veterinarians were satisfied with their jobs, with 56% being very or extremely satisfied. Older veterinarians reported higher job satisfaction compared to younger ones. Job satisfaction was linked to intrinsic values, such as the perception of making an important contribution to society. Discussion. The study underscores the inherent stress in veterinary medicine and the critical need for effective coping mechanisms and work-life balance. Financial stress, particularly high levels of student debt, also poses a significant challenge for early career veterinarians. Working with a financial advisor was associated with lower psychological distress. The findings suggest that both individual and organizational strategies are essential for improving well-being and reducing burnout in the veterinary profession. Conclusion. This comprehensive study provides valuable insights into the mental health and well-being of veterinarians, highlighting the importance of work-life balance, positive coping strategies, and a supportive clinic culture. The findings can guide both individuals and organizations in implementing effective strategies to enhance well-being and job satisfaction in the veterinary profession. References. The references section includes citations to the studies and surveys that formed the basis of this research. Notably, the study draws on validated instruments such as the Kessler Psychological Distress Scale, the Burnout Assessment Tool, and the Big 5 Personality Assessment, among others. Key references include previous Merck Animal Health veterinary well-being studies, national surveys, and relevant literature on burnout, mental health, and well-being. By addressing the multifaceted challenges faced by veterinarians and proposing actionable solutions, this study aims to contribute to the ongoing efforts to improve the mental health and well-being of veterinary professionals.